over the course of the past year. And he's kind enough to give me a short introduction. I think that's because he wants to talk longer, maybe. Jim Halderman is our district governor this year. He is passionate about Rotary. He's passionate about the tremendous changes that Rotary brings throughout our communities and the world. For over 20 years in Rotary, Jim has been filling his life with service, fellowship, and the gratification that Rotary brings. Before moving to Denver, Jim sold a successful boat dealership in Phoenix, and he started 19 years earlier. Alongside a career in the marine industry, he followed an avocation of music, performing in front of Little Richard early on, the Phoenix Symphony, and now Just for Fun, and a variety of opportunities. In fact, our past president, Doug McLemore, and Jim have played together from time to time. Since moving to Denver, Jim works with the Conflict Center and privately teaches conflict management and presentation skills. In Golden Rotary, which is Jim's home club, he held the position of treasurer, editarian, vocational chair before becoming president and later an assistant governor. He's a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and a member of the Bequest Society. Please help me welcome our district governor, Jim Halderman.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Before I get started, Seth, would you come down with me for just a moment? I got a little package the other day from our international president, Kalyan Banerjee, and he sends along this recognition of Denver 31 100 years. Congratulations from Rotary International. Seth, thank you. I'd like to introduce a lovely lady sitting here in the front table by the name of Peggy Halderman, my wife, my assistant. I could not do this without her. Wonderful lady. Seth, please stand. Seth is my assistant governor in this area. Steve Centered. This is Seth. Steve Centered, please. Thank you so much. He's my assistant governor in this area. With 67 clubs, I can't do this alone. And as I've started many of my speeches and have talked to Bob Kopelke, know that today I will be short. I want to remind everybody to be sure to put April 27th, 8th, and 9th on your calendar, because I know every one of you will want to join us at our district conference in the Ameristar at Blackhawk. Guaranteed good time. The one thing also that I'll guarantee you, when you come to our district conference in April in Blackhawk, I guarantee everybody attending will take home a golden nugget. Guaranteed. So you got to come and figure out, how am I going to give everybody a golden nugget? Then 1 week after that, May 6th through 9th, you'll want to get on the bus to Bangkok. That's the international convention this year at Bangkok. So it'll be a great time and a great experience by all. As Seth said, I had a boat dealership in Phoenix for 19 years. I did an awfully lot of surface repair. I did a lot of fiberglass hull repair, and doing fiberglass hull repair requires resin. And we did a lot of it, so I would buy resin in a 55-gallon drum. Now in Arizona, resin is highly flammable, so you have to keep it outside. And outside means it sits in 120-degree heat in the summertime, and it gets clear down to 30 degrees in the wintertime. But it always stays ready in liquid form until we're ready to go make a repair. And when we want to make a repair, we go out and get a little quantity, a gallon or so, and then we add a couple of drops of catalyst. Just a couple of drops to catalyst in a gallon of resin. You mix it up, and at that time you've got maybe 20 minutes until it turns as hard as glass. 20 minutes when you add a catalyst, which makes a major, major change. And I was thinking about that when I was thinking about Rotary. Rotary is the catalyst that brings change to our society. In May, I had the opportunity to be in New Orleans at the International Convention. And I met this wonderful lady by the name of Stella Dongo. Stella Dongo is my counterpart, a district governor in Zimbabwe, Africa. She is the district governor of the country of Zimbabwe with the capital in Harare. And upon meeting her, she came to me and said, "Jim, I want to tell you what a difference your district has made to our city. What a difference you have made to our community, how Rotary, your district, our district here, brought hope and dignity to the community of Harare." And as I want to do, is they tell me more. And she could not stop talking about the phenomenal difference the Rotarians of this district made. First, by a grant bringing awareness to AIDS, because they become aware of the number of children growing up in orphanages. And what can we do about that? So, as a matter of fact, I think there might be a tiny bit of involvement here. But you took an AIDS awareness program over to Harare. Then a year later, several Rotarians went over and had the opportunity to meet with the community people of Harare. And they began learning about the community. They were curious to see what effect they had. But they wanted to learn more about the challenges of the community. And they heard about the women that were uneducated, downtrodden. The children growing up in orphanages were just disconnected from the community. And it was through Rotary scholarships, through Rotary programs, through Rotary grants, this club working with the Denver Mile High Club, going over there, changing the nature of that community, bringing hope and dignity, through classes of educating women in life skills, through career opportunities for the children. They became reconnected. And as one teacher explained, you could tell you could be making a difference because now the women were wearing makeup, because now they had hope and dignity. When I think of Rotary, I think of people like Dave Talbot, and I'm sure many of you have heard Dave Talbot speak. The gentleman that Crutches for Africa. There's a gentleman that grew up in our district with polio recovered, lives on crutches, is a photographer by trade, became aware that in Africa, once the child that has polio-ridden legs becomes too heavy for the mother to carry, they set them on the ground. And at that point, the child has a life of begging at best. Well, Dave Talbot realized that in our country, everybody has a pair of crutches we haven't used in the garage or in the closet somewhere. We throw away wheelchairs when we no longer need them. All kinds of mobility devices that when we are no longer using them. So Dave Talbot collects shipping cart loads and sends them over to Africa. Things that we throw away, bringing hope and dignity to the people that receive them. One little boy went up and tugged on him and he said, "Mr. Rotary, now I can go to school. Now I can go to school." Hope and dignity. The food programs that our district puts together, the number of stories I hear from teachers saying because of Rotary's food programs with their youth, they have food over the weekends. So now they're no longer coming to school hungry. The attendance is better, grades are better, discipline is less because of what Rotary does. And when I think of the peace programs, Rotary is doing more to bring peace to this world than any other organization in the country. It is Rotary that has 7 peace universities throughout the world working on bringing peace to the world. And we do scholarships, sending people to get a master's. Richelieu Allison, born and raised in Sierra Leone, went to a Rotary Peace College, came back to Sierra Leone and is building huts throughout the African countries. And in a hut in Africa is where the tribal leaders come together to work out differences. You've heard of the African talking stick? That's where they use it. They work out the differences, creating a far more peaceful climate because we can talk with one another. Shai Tamarai, born and raised in Israel, went to London